Hello everyone and welcome back to Star Wars The Force Unleashed on Steam. I am One Sheep yet again, and now we're taking on the very final mission of the game, ladies and gentlemen, the last DLC mission. This is Tatooine. Now this actually takes place before the first DLC mission I tackled, but due to reasons, which is basically me being lazy, I did it last. Because it's in order. I did it in the order that it's in the list, and I didn't realize. One takes place before the other, despite it's on the end of the list. So you'd assume the one at the end of the list should be at the start of the list, and basically it annoys me that this mission is at the end of the list, despite the fact it takes place before. It really bugs me. I don't think any other people would get bugged like this, but I'm not any other person now, am I? Oh, okay, so it starts off with the Star Wars intro. I was trying to be quiet because I didn't know if it went straight into the level, if it did the intro. It does the intro. So, basically, much like the first DLC, this takes place during one of the movies. And this one actually takes place during episode 4. You know, because the name is a complete change of A New Hope to A Fragile Hope. Oh, God. But yeah, we're almost there now, folks. We are almost done with this LP, finally. So, for the lot of you that thought it was pretty hopeless. Get it, hopeless? That's, hopeless me finishing this LP. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost done. We got one more part left of this one to go. And we are fine and dandy. What can I say? But yeah, this one takes place on Tatooine, and we'll basically be moving throughout the desert land as the brand new version of Starkiller, which we've already seen, but he got a little bit of a different design in this mission, ladies and gentlemen, because he decided to make him more like a, you know the way the Sand People look? They kind of changed the design so he looks a little bit more like them, you know? I don't know why they did that, but I like it. It looks pretty cool on him. It suits him. What can I say?
That you have not succeeded in tracking down your objective, my apprentice.
No, my master.
As I expected, you will proceed to the palace of Jabba the Hutt. His spies are the only reliable source of information on that pitiful speck of a planet. He will help you find the droids you seek.
I will not fail you, master.
We shall see.
Yeah, because Jabba's really the type to help out. But yeah, that cutscene at the very start of this DLC, one thing I have to say about it really makes me miss the FMV sequences. And anyway, these are the extra costumes you can actually unlock during the game and use on your characters. You can actually play as Ben Kenobi if you like. You can play as an animated version of yourself that looks bloody retarded. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I kind of like the fact you got all these extra skins. So if you want to slice down people to C-3PO, you can. You know, you can play as Darth Xion from Knights of the Old Republic 2, etc., etc. So yeah, you can. I kind of like this. You can unlock most of these outfits from picking up either holocrons or just the DLC unlocks them as well. So it's pretty cool. Like this one by here, I really love. Gives me Terminator vibes. But yeah, like I said, the cutscene at the start makes me really miss the FMV sequences are normally at the start, purely because the aliasing. And there's not much I can do about the aliasing in this game without forcing them through my graphics options in my graphics card, because this game, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't have the best graphics options in the world. And I'm about to blow your mind, actually. These are the only graphics options this game has. And remember, this is a PC game. PC games usually have a lot of customizable features for the graphics. Alright? There's a checkbox. Okay, follow me here. There's a checkbox that says high quality graphics. You can either turn it on or off. I shit you not. That is the only graphics options in this game. And Jesus Christ, sorry, the Jawa went flying. That amused me more than it probably should have. But that's the only graphics options in this game, which means if you're one of those PC people who are massive fans of customizing your game to get better frame rates, or customizing your game to get worse frame rates but super ultra pretty graphics, it's not gonna happen in this one, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't the best port in the world. I'm not gonna lie. Normally, I don't mind when games don't give you too much graphics options, because for me personally, if my PC runs it at any graphics, I'm happy. I usually run it to the highest I can while keeping 60 FPS, you know? And if I can't keep 60 frames per second, then I'll lower the graphics. That's usually my go-to method. Or lower the resolution. Like in, actually, yeah, that's usually what I do. First I lower the graphics, and if I still don't get 60 FPS, I lower the resolution a bit. And I sort of work in like a step ladder way like that in order to try and get the best performance as possible. Performance is better than anything else for a game, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I grew up with the N64, so having, well, I say that having blurry picture is not a bad thing for me. Of course, I say that, but the N64 has extremely poor frame rates in a lot of their games. Like Banjo-Tooie, for example, runs at like 20 about 20 FPS, yeah, and then you have Zelda Ocarina of Time, which, if you live in the country I do, the game runs at a glorious 12 frames per second. It runs at 20 in America, but me being a European person, me living in the great old land of Wales, means I have to stick with 12, so the game looks awfully choppy. And I'm usually pretty fine with that as long as the game runs consistent, you know? But, I don't know. But yeah, needless to say, whenever I do LPs with PC games, I'll keep the resolution as high as I can while retaining 60 FPS, because 60 FPS videos on YouTube are now a thing, and of course, nearly every single video I've released since the Sonic 3 playthrough runs at 60 FPS. The games might not, but the videos themselves do, because I'll be damned if I'm making multiple settings just to do videos of 30 FPS, you know? I'm kind of glad YouTube updated that player so you can have 60 FPS videos now, because it makes the games a lot more smoother, and you actually, when watching playthroughs of games, like if you're looking at a game to buy it, it's a lot easier to tell how good the game runs, you know? But yeah, that's Jabba the Hutt. He still speaks in his whatever language he speaks in. And of course he sends moblins at us, and if you don't know what a moblin is, play more Zelda. They're basically the mooks that's the main villain of the first Zelda game throw at you. But yeah, he throws these goons at you, and they got high defense, so they take a lot to kill, but for the most part, they die quickly. Just saying. But yeah, he sends quite a few of these goons at you, and this mission, it's a bit, I consider this padding. It goes on for a lot longer than it needs to, and like I stated in the previous part, pacing needs to be a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. We need a good pacing in our games. Ugh. But I digress. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying with the graphics, I'm not the biggest graphics whore in the world, ladies and gentlemen. If I can play a game good with good graphics, I will. But, and of course, I will always praise good graphics. I will give credit where credit's due. But I don't base my purchase of a game on graphics, because if I did that, then I wouldn't bother with games like Shovel Knight, would I? Even though the whole point of that game is to be 8-bit, but still, I wouldn't bother because it's not high-end revolutionary. Graphics whores, you people, you broaden your horizons is all I'm saying. That's the main point of discussion here, because if you're a graphics whore, chances are you're gonna miss out on a lot of good games because it looks like a PlayStation block, and I'm like, so does it play good? Yes, and then the graphics should be pretty irrelevant. Speaking of irrelevant, there's actually a game coming out by Sega, and it's being co-developed with Game Freak, you know, the guys that made Pokemon. It's called Tembo the Badass Elephant. It looks pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie.
The mighty and benevolent Jabba would like to offer...
The Empire seeks 2 droids, Astromech and Protocol. You will be compensated for any information that your spies can provide.
Ano droida Tatooine. Makuna Shiranta Lola.
Sir, Garandan has reported seeing 2 such droids in Mos Eisley.
Oscar!
You know, I can't be the only one. Whenever I put my can of Coke down, whenever I hear Jabba the Hutt laugh, go, oh, 2 things pop into my head: Santa Claus and Dr. Eggman. Every time I hear his laugh, I always think either Merry Christmas or snooping as usual. I see. No way! I can't believe this. But yeah. Anyway, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Jabba's Rancor. It's the Rancor from Star Wars Episode 4. And at least was it Episode 4? I don't know, I always watch the Star Wars movies literally back to back, so sometimes I get confused which one in particular it's from. But yeah, this is a Rancor that Luke managed to fight and escape. However, unlike Luke, we decimate the bloody thing. So Luke just escapes from it and crushes him as collateral. What do? Well, we just annihilate him with our lightsaber skills, you know, because we're that badass. Oh, of course, he also decided to spawn in these Moblins with us as well, which I don't see why. Like, the Moblins are really pathetic enemies. They have high defense, but they can't do anything to you. They do no damage, and they serve purely to waste your time. Like, look at this. They're pathetic. They can't even fight you nothing, and like I said, they do no damage, and because they're mainly melee fighters, they have to get in your face to attack you. So, look at that. He hit me and my health literally went down 1 bar. And getting 1 bar of damage in this game is the equivalent of getting 1 bar of damage in Mega Man. It's tiny, you won't notice it. But anyway, whenever you come to these doors, you'll see these eye things, which you saw me electrocute the eye things when we first entered the Tatooine mission. Basically, you shoot out the eye things, overcharge them with your lightning attack, and it'll open up the doorway, allowing you to progress further. And that's a neat collateral there. I just force push the door and good going there, Wookiees. 10 out of 10. What higher again? But it's good collateral when you just open the door and the door pushes on and kills enemies for you. It's quite weird when it happens, but I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy my destruction. But seriously, these are without a doubt the worst enemies in the game because, like I said, they serve to waste your time. They do nothing of value. You attack them, the health goes down slowly. You don't do much damage to them. They don't do much damage to you, you know. And the fact is, they're also really slow enemies to deal with. So, whenever you don't expect them. If they were fast, they would be really good enemies. I'm not gonna lie, they would be extremely good enemies if they had speed to counterbalance their weakness. Basically, if they were fast, they could do more damage to you more, and that would be better. That's essentially what I'm getting at here, folks. Of course, whenever you see certain enemies, basically the only people who can go through those trapped floors are Moblins, and what you want to do is actually destroy the trap and throw it at people, just to protect yourself. But, however, if you do electrocute the trap, then moblins will still get attacked by the trap regardless, even though normally it just sort of ignores them. So, yeah, there's that, I guess. But yeah, these traps serve to waste your time. It's my biggest issue with the DLC as a whole. Whee! My biggest issue with this DLC as a whole is just everything in these DLCs serve to keep you in the level for as long as possible. You know, it's so much level design in this. It just serves to be padding. And a lot of people have asked the question before: what constitutes padding in the game? What is just additional content, and what is padding? Essentially, the way I think of it is padding is something added to the game purely to make it longer. Extra content is things added to the game to improve the game. Now you can have padding that's also improvements to the game, which is the best kind of padding, but it doesn't always turn around that way. Like, using a good example, because it's Sonic Unleashed. Now, people hate the Werehog in that game. Anyway, I love this room actually. This is a torture room if anyone's seen Star Wars Episode 4. So you can actually torture these robots at your own will. But, padding's like, what can I say? It's... Sonic Unleashed had the Werehog. Now, that served purely to be padding. But what they did was they tried to make it a feature of the game so it didn't seem so much like padding, that it was pretty... You know, they tried to make it pretty fun for what it was, and I enjoyed it, personally. It's just a watered-down God of War for me, and I don't mind it too much. But I know a lot of people really despise those levels, and there's reasons to despise those levels, and reasons to hate those levels, which I will be getting to whenever I tackle Sonic Unleashed sometime in... Well, at the rate I'm doing the Sonic playthrough is probably about 2-3 years, because I'm doing... Every third LP I'm doing is a Sonic LP, so... Yeah, it might probably be about 2 or 3 years until I go tackle Sonic Unleashed, but there you go, a bit of preview for my thoughts on that game. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one last place to go now, so just open up these blast doors here, and with that, that's the end of this part, ladies and gentlemen. So when we return next time, we'll be coming back to Tatooine in Extra Part 6 for the grand finale of the game itself. We are gonna be finally done with this LP, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait for it, because it means I can move on to one of my next projects all the more quicker. Well, I say that, but my next thing I'm working on is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because I did the Sonic portion, but not a Knuckles portion at this point in time. But either way, I just can't wait to get this done. So thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish people, and I'll catch you all then. Bye!